Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't really know exactly when they were going to start, but we are going to have a game between wTf and comebacks, and they're actually just going to be start right now. So I've just been keeping this whole screen and just been waiting until now. So welcome to the stream. This is probably going to be one big disaster of technical difficulties, but I do hope you're still going to enjoy it. Comeback starting off really well with a good defense here on the push onto Globe, and also getting a good push here in onto Electrical, and Koali and Scylla, the only ones left here in the corner, getting pinched from both sides, and the first round here goes to Comeback. Comeback again, spawning at the Space Shuttle, throwing one nade in and also getting the intel of the minor push onto the corner. Card also engaging up against Koali, does go down, so wTf have control of the middle, and several people here from Comeback have gone down. It's really no trades at all, so it's 5 versus 3 right now. But wTf really just slow down and just go back into good positions and figure out then where to go. They have control here of the Globe, trying to regain control here of the middle. There's one little pick here on Metal Atom from the Cantina, but here in the end the last two very quickly with just dispatch, and it's already tied again. So even though this is a game from Division 2, this is certainly still worth watching, as you can see. But also these two teams are currently tied for the same place, being 4th in Division 2, just due to the fact that both of them have 1 win and 1 loss. So they have the exact same amount of points, and also they haven't really been able to show themselves really how well they're doing this very seasons, as they've just been either having forfeit wins or forfeit losses, really, because they couldn't have any players or enough players to show up. Here Comebacks defending off a great push here into Globe, a great trades here, but still 3 versus 1. Metal Atom, the very last one left here, going to go into the Cantina. Just going to take a little peek here. You can hear them. They're going to go down through the through the Electrical. Or they're actually ready. Right now, I've just listened incorrectly. They all 3 did know where he was. They probably saw him through the door there. And with that, they just set up for 3 versus 1. Great push in through the door. Nicely done, nicely done. Here, Comeback with a great nade in for an early push, or from a push from wTf onto the Globe. Another push in here with a nade. Padawan gets one with the nade and also gets a few good hits in on the second one. And with that, Globe is taken by wTf, or by Comeback, sorry. wTf only really having Spatial Dog here left with only 2 of them. Spy tries to go in from the side. It is only a trade. Koali holding down really well, getting several people down before he also dies. Oh, only one. He gets showdown, but gets 1 down, but he also has to flick around for 180. So it is a 1 to 3. Come back again, doing a little bit of a push here. Xenon just trading shots here with another. Metal Atom going to do the peek here against Show and does get punished for it. But Zealot at the same time also tries here to fend off this push by Comeback through the Globe, and simultaneously Show just being here at the service, just holding down the angle for the very last one to push in. So Comeback are beginning here to make the difference in very convincingly to their advantage. And wTf is going to go for a timeout, maybe to change the players, but maybe also just talk out what they're doing. Again, a push onto Globe has done way too much damage than it should have, and Cracklord the only one still left here for wTf to just try and fend it off, and being also sandwiched, as we can see, Ricardinho, let's try that again. As you can see, Ricardinho from behind, he could also have taken him easily, shouldn't it have been the kill already. So, question is of course how long this break is going to be, but we're not going to go back to film music. I think we're just going to instead look at exactly let me just figure out exactly what this history was of this, because I didn't really get to see enough. Okay, so we have a change in the lineup here. Aquila just connected. So it's going to be interesting to see who is going to move out for them, or who is going to substitute. Metal Atom has just left, so the game is probably going to resume within a short while, or short time. So yeah, What the Fast has one forfeit victory, and also they have a no-show loss to the Saints simultaneously. And if we go for CB or comeback instead, they also have a forfeit win against a team, and let's see, they should also have a loss somewhere. There you go. They have had a loss against Retired, and that one was, I think, played actually. So let's just take a look on that one. It was as is now. That's just the page. Okay, so it was being Orbital 2, and Retired won that 20-10, which is, I mean, if you look at the lineup here of Retired, that makes a lot of sense. They have players like Shadow, Dexter, Guster. So it makes a lot of sense with those names that you're not going to do that well. And 20-10 against those, that's fine. That's a good score. And we are resuming. I mean, obviously it's not the score for the win, but it is still just enough points. The game was paused, so I could have shown you the web page, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I could probably. Sorry for not having showing you the matchups that I was looking at. But now come back, trying here to go for a push into Biosphere. Doing very well with it again. Cracklord, the very last one here. Trying to hold it down. Takes only Spy with them. Come back here, starting at the Space Shuttle. Show just holding down the angle, throwing a few nades so that there's not going to be any strong push here. Keller just going down here in the middle, so that's an opening. Ricardinho only going down here for a trade, but simultaneously also again Ankoale and Crackler also going down. Again come back in for a great opening, but Aquila trying to turn it around, getting 2 kills there, but Spy there from the side just in the nick of time was able to catch Aquila off guard. If it has just been a few seconds more just so that Aquila could get into a new good position or just get back again or just at least move the aim, then certainly that could have actually gone both ways. I mean, we had only 20 HP left on the very last guy here for comeback. So Aquila here though again trying to push in. Cracklaw though just going to heal Aquila up. Comeback having actually pushed very far back, since a good push here by What the Fast have with very good trades. Only Photo going down here for both Show, Spy and Padawan. So a 4 versus 2, but Comeback have taken in positions here on Cantina, but Xenon does jump out, goes out straight into a crossfire, and Ricardinho now the very last one left, goes up against Salah, just jumps in right into the canteen and does just go down. So finally a second round here for What the Fast. Finally, but they do still need 5 more rounds. But it's certainly also just only 6 minutes has just gone past, so certainly anything can still happen. Though you wouldn't want to step on your own nade as Photo just did. That is not really going to be a good opening here. Now also Keller going down to Spy, but it is a trade with Anchor Alley. Sure going to be trying now to push in to try and see if he can support his teammates. Cracklow though, again the very last one, trying to hold it down against 2 from the Biosphere and then also all of a sudden 1 from the Infirmary. Show just going all the way through, good communication. Not just staying in one angle, but actually having awareness of what is happening. Again, Comeback going here in for a push onto the Biosphere. While Photo and Keller trying here to see if they can hold down on the one player coming from Canteen, and Photo trying to retreat does find his demise. Padawan here taking in positions, going for a great nade in onto the into the globe, and also going to go for a bit of an aggressive push here, trying to see if he can actually take control, gets a killer down with that. Killer though trying to see if he can get control back, but getting in wide in front of 3 of the players from comeback, that is not going to go well, and Show takes the very last one here with Anko Alley for 10-2. Comeback really getting far ahead here. So interesting would be to see exactly what kind of setup exactly what the Fast have set up. But Anko Ali trying again, just going for the trades here, so it's still a 3 versus 3. But what the Fast are very split. They have a Loic with Photo trying to see if he can go through the electrical or Canteen. Gets very many of them down. Wow, really well played. Comeback just didn't really expect anything like that. They just thought they were all 3 together. So finally a 3rd round here, but still, with every round they get, their difference is just getting bigger and bigger. So while the rounds that are going to their favor are certainly very convincing rounds, they cannot really pull them off consistently. Cracklaw now also again in a very hard situation here with the S8. Though he has a longer angle to hold down, but now also trying to go in. Gets a great shot here on Show, but gets backstabbed here by Xenon. Now again, comebacks spawning here at Space Shooter. And Xenon taking in position, though being a little bit more passive here at the globe. Padawan though taking the closer positions in. Ricardinho though going down already here for comeback, so Photo trying to go in and take the opening. Also gets Spy now, and tries to follow it up with the kill with the Desert Eagle. Show though really dancing really well around the bullets. Still with 20 HP, survives, but still it's only Show and Padawan against Keller and Anko Alley. Does also go down, so Padawan the very last one here with an SA8 though at Moonview. But if what the Fast have any knowledge of what kind of a weapon they're up against, they should just have to double peek him. And that seems like that they actually are not doing that. They're going to try and push in from 2 sides at once, meaning that they leave him with a 2 1 versus 1s, which is very good to go up with the SR8. Though missing the shot is a great opening here to push in further. But he just tries to jump around, gets him all the way down to 4 HP with that grenade. Padawan though trying to see if he can get the final hits here in, but with 52 HP, Keller goes in for the 4th round. Nicely played. Nicely played. They might have wanted to 1 in together, but Keller still turned it around, still saved the round. And Kawali though going down and being punished for that peek. Ricardinho also being very aggressive here in the locker room. And Keller also going down here to Spy, so very much still no trades at all. Only 1 here going down with Xenon and Cracklaw again being the very last one going down too. Is it me or is Comeback actually just spawning all the time at Space Shuttle? So, but they're actually going to this time to go for a straight push on through the corridor. Being very aggressive this time, and what the Fast have not really been able to respond that easily, Anko Alley, though getting it together a little bit, but does also go down to Padawan there in the end, and Cracklaw, again the very last one, also dies there in the end for the 13th round here for Comeback. Nice opening kill here by Kilo with that SR8. This should be a great opening, but simultaneously, Comeback have just been able to pick people off here from what the Fast at all the other places. So Akila is the very last one left here though. And And also missing that jump could put her, or put him in a very bad position. Trying to engage her up against one is just being backstabbed. Had Akila gotten that jump done, it would have been a 1 versus 1 when Akila had just reversed the view. So it's a little sad to see that, because Akila was just left out in the open and couldn't really move anywhere because Akila was just trying to engage. But the fast though, going to go for pushes onto the globe, have been able to do so. Akila also holding down the angle here. Does just not get the shot now. Didn't really have to move there, should just have stood still and hold down the angle.
Red team wins.
Or the angle map, maybe not the ankle, but still. Finally, nicely done. Akila and Killer still alive for a 5th round. And also a great kill, I think. No, that was the other way around. Sadly, that I still have some trouble sometimes with that kill messages up on the upper left, weirdly enough. I'm sorry for that, but very good opening with that nade for comeback, not what the fast, and also following it up very, very well. Just using that opening for a great push in. Padawan though also throwing in a nade against a hard push onto globe. We have seen that once before by what fast, a few rounds ago, 1 or 2 rounds ago. Akila though trying to see if he can go for the trade. Does try and go up against 2 people instead of just focusing down on 1. So he doesn't get anyone down with him, and again Cracklaw the very last one here. 40 up against just 1 with the Desert Eagle. Does also go down. Still 7 minutes and 30 seconds left for what would be 11 rounds. I think that is correctly calculated. Cracklaw holding down the angle is just not connecting with that one player from comeback. Those are some good hits, and also dancing really nicely around the bullets. Xenon tries to see if he can get in. Doesn't really get anything done with it, but also finds one from the side. Gets a few good hits in there. Doesn't really connect that with the SIA. Tries again to retreat further. Is just stuck on that ledge, but finds Cracklaw with the DSR-8. Tries to go in for a second kill here, but Keller just goes around the side and finally also gets a kill for a 6th round. But with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left, I mean, how many? You have 10 rounds, right? That would be like half a minute per round. So the fact that Aquali is right now pushing through Canteen and they are not just actually pushing and rushing onto Globe each and every round, which is the fastest possibility to actually gain wins. I'm not completely sure if What the Fast would be able to even if they just went on a 10 win streak, be able to get enough wins here in time. Kellan also here with good nades in. Gets Xenon with that and tries to also go down and follow it up. Finds Spider from the side, is killed by Show from corridor. So Padawan though with only 11 HP is going to push on to the corner and to the middle. Or just going to actually wait. Try and see if he can get medicked up here by Show. But Akila and Cracklaw still try to put on and apply pressure. Finding one here in corridor all alone. Akila tries to engage. Doesn't really connect here with Show, so Show gets him. Cracklaw though tries to see if he can follow it up with only 23 HP. He also goes down with not one single hit. So the round difference is still a 10 round difference, and Show also going to push very hard into the service. Is not yet killed for it, so Spy also simultaneously getting 2 of the players from What the Fast down, meaning that there's a very big opening here for comeback. Akila and Photo really have to try and see if they can group up so that they can get into some better engagements here. Akila also getting Xenon now down. This is looking better and better. They have got it all the way back to a 2 versus 2 from what was a 4 versus 2 earlier. So Spy and Show now taking in positions here at Canteen, trying to have medic up. So it's now 190 HP against what seems to be most likely the same. since also wTf have still 1 medic alive. But Aquila just jumping out right into a crossfire here of comeback. Aquila did get the intel of it, but Photo already being this low, comeback could probably have be pretty much everywhere on the map by now. So Photo really also has to begin to look behind him, because he's probably going to be backstabbed very soon. There we go, Show already getting into Globe. But it seems like Photo is going to go for a position in Canteen. Going to go down though, and also finds one in Corridor. Does to take the shot, so he is hurt. And there's one from the side. He's trying to see if he can get the angle down and just get his position so that he only engages up against one at the same time, but tries to engage against Spy, who just kills him cleanly. Another round here for Comeback, who are now going to spawn here at main. And Show now pushing straight onto Corridor. And also going to push straight onto all the other players of wTf who are still in this very spawn of their... well, yeah, of their spawn. They haven't actually moved out trying to take positions here this round, it seems. Or they were already immediately pushed back from Globe too. So the setup we see here from Comeback mainly seems like a hard push with 2 players onto Globe and 2 players onto Infirmary and then 1 player on the other side. And with them having 2 players pushing on through the corridor last round, I would imagine that they could pretty much just mirror that setup if you had looked at the minimap. Keller now also again up in again 1 versus 4 is just again backstabbed here. But if you look at the minimap from what Comeback are doing, so they seem to be having 2 players on the one side that they're pushing, and then 1 of 0 players on the other just holding down the angle, while there's the rest of them are trying to go through the middle that is on the side of the where they're right now pushing. And Comeback have with that pushed straight through Electrical and the corridor, and with that just taking control of Spatial Dog, killing most of the wTf players, and wTf really with only 1 player left still, not really able to do much. Fortune also going down uncarily. Cracklaw just big slaughter here. Keller T is the only one left. Does take Show with him though. He's still not dead actually. Does also go up against again. Doesn't engage up against Spy. Does die to him, but it was 2 consecutive 1 versus 1s. He could have won that. So still getting though in that corner where he couldn't really very well retreat. So had a second player come in, it would certainly have been his demise. Keeler with the S8, trying to hold down the angle through Biosphere. Finds Show though. And also gets Spy there for a good kill. So getting it from a 3 versus 1 all the way down to a 1 versus 1. Padawan though already trying to engage. With 28 HP though, Aquila just flicks around, gets 1 good shot in. This time wTf spawning at main. Aquila not really having the crosshair on any position that is usual for the player to be. Maybe he probably just expected them to 1, and that would be his reaction time compared to their movement, but that seemed right out in the open. But maybe it was also just to be flicking to one side or the other, but it just certainly didn't work. And pretty much all of the defenses of wTf crumbled and come back again. Just took the opening and got in, killing everyone. Spy nicely retreating and just letting Show take over that engagement. Kalati going in with a nade, just going to be pushing back a hard push here by come back onto the Infirmary. wTf tries to go in 2 versus 2, and it doesn't seem like it actually went in favor. Aquila again the very last one here, in a 1 versus 3. He did do it once before. He doesn't do it again. Show takes him down with 1 clean shot. Comeback opting here for a bit of a wraparound here on the Electrical, and going to follow it up with moving further in onto the spawning area. What the Fast have actually 2 players trying to camp with a crossfire, just expecting that one flanking player. But with that, they have no defenses to speak of. And with that again, Aquila and Photo, the very last ones left. And all of them pretty much in a 2 versus 1 all the time. Trying to retreat from one engagement right into another. Also just really not doing that very well. But this is going to be the very last round of this first map here. I'm not completely sure what is the second one, because the match reports or says it's going to be Abbey, and this is certainly not Abbey, so it's going to be a little bit of a surprise, I suppose, but it's going to end with a 27-8, with the last round being no deaths to come back at all. So really, I'm not completely sure. I didn't really look enough on the minimap to look at exactly what second half? What? No. Well, that's half, so apparently, but we had 20 minutes. I'm completely certain of that. No, but I did really look enough on the minimap to be completely certain what happened with the setup of What the Fast here. So I cannot really say if there's anything majorly wrong with their setup. Certainly in the end, where they had 2 players dedicated to their spawn for the one flanking player, is just way too many players. They should just have one rotating player, just try to content the middle here. So it also, by the way, looks like it's going to be Turnpike, which is going to be the second map. But so the thing though about that comeback, it seemed very well. It was very simple. It was certainly just doing a splitting push through the middle and through one of the sides, but it still worked. So yeah, not completely sure where I wanted to go with that. I seem to try and find a follow-up. There wasn't really any need for that. I mean, it was simple, it was clean, and it worked. And that's all I really have to say. They switched it up. One time they pushed through one side, sometimes they went through another. So it's just still keeping What the Fast guessing, though they still only had like 2 or 3 strategy or setups to really play against. Meaning that really they just would have to do some kind of a setup that should cover all bases. There should be a possibility to set up something that could do that. Certainly. Let's think. So, I mean, we have nothing better to do while we just wait for all of the players to connect, and we still need 1 player on each team here on Turnpike before we can start. So, let's so we have to deal with 2 players on either side. We also have to deal with the 5 players of maybe 3 players rushing through Biosphere. So we will have to have 2 players on Globe. Maybe 1 S8 would be really, really neat. And keeping the nades as they are, just throwing them so that they're well timed with a push like that. Also a good idea. That they certainly did, except not doing the S8 thing, I'm pretty certain. So then the question is really what they should have to do on the other side. Really, they probably should just have maybe either an SA8, a G36 maybe. Maybe 2 SA8s on one team is a little bit too overcommitted to the SA8s on something like Orbital. So maximally have a G36 or just an LR300 down through the corridor. And they also, I think, had that. But that player pretty much just stayed back and waited for them to push on corridor. So he didn't really take in his position. With the thing is, really by not holding down the angle down through corridor and trying to contest or not let them just go into corridor, they pretty much just give them control of that very area. So certainly should just be more confident. Rather you die than you just set yourself in a bad position and hope that you are just going to surprise them. And certainly you cannot try and surprise them every round in a row. So No, that shouldn't work. You should try to, even though it might not work for you, you should still try and do something that is based on you being confident on what you're doing. Also, we can, so then we would still have 2 players left going through the middle here. And that would be, well, I mean, they weren't really that aggressive themselves, but really they should, maybe they could actually have 1 player going through the gate as we saw, or the thing under the stairs as usual, and actually have 1 player wrap around in through corridor. Then you also support the player at corridor simultaneously, but not have the wrap around as we saw with Comeback doing with like 2 or 3 players, but just have 1 player go do it. That way you also contest control of electrical, and you also can do a nice crossfire with the 1 player coming in from the spawn immediately. And also, should there be no one in electrical, then you can just have the other player already take in at least some more passive or less or more defensive spots here on the onto infirmary, and with that you should pretty much have all bases covered, at least against those strategies that I've said. Of course, this all depends on just you being able to just win the engagements, which wTf have troubles with. Certainly they had several 1 versus 1s where they just couldn't really take the win, even though that they would have been in better positions or had more HP than the other. They just didn't really have their weapons connect. We're still waiting here for wTf to ready up. We have all players, but they're just certainly just talking through what exactly they are going to do. So it's pretty hard to say exactly what kind of whose map this is, because as I said, it says Abbey for both on the page here. But maybe we should, in the meantime, begin to talk a little bit about Turnpike, because Turnpike is usually played. I do a little bit of theory crafting because I haven't really played Turnpike that much in Team Survivor, but Team Survivor Turnpike is usually played, as you all know, in Capture the Flag, and it's really good for that. It's very simple in some ways. I mean, you have pretty much 2 different paths, all pretty much completely disjunct of the other, and then have 1 player in the middle just trying to gain map control, but since the middle has gives you just ability to reach on the other sides of the map. So obviously, if we're going to see some kind of a 1 versus 1, it's probably going to go down somewhere in the pillars, or at least certainly somewhere in with closer quarters. Except of course if we have something like an SR8 here. So we see here come back with a little bit of a very hard defensive here onto a push through train station, and wTf really not being able to get out. Photo the very last one left, trying here to go on the retreat, but 1 versus 5, trying to go for a re-engage in here. Finds Spy, who didn't expect that one, so does get it all the way down to 1 versus 4. Finds Xenon 2. It's a good start. Does though go up against 2, gets Padawan though also. Keeps on retreating. Tries again to engage up against Shell. Nicely done. Gets it from a 1 versus 5 all the way down to a 1 versus 2. And really splendidly done, because he just kept on taking in positions where he was certain that he would still always just keep on having a 1 versus 1. This time, Comeback have gone for the push, also going straight through train station, trying to take control of the one side of the middle too, and it has worked really, really well. Crackle on Metal Atom all the way to going down. Ricardinho though also now going down, but it is only a trade. And Spy getting the better end of the engagement here up against Akila, Jesus. I just read the name and for some weird reason, my mouth said it should have been pronounced completely different. Something that didn't make sense. Oh well, it's still Photo though. Again, in a 1 versus 3. Up against several others. Holds down one angle, gets Padawan with that, but Xenon just peeks him together with his friend Spy. And they get the kill. This time, Comeback going to start here at the train station parking lot. And it's going to go for a push through the train station and onto the office reception. Padawan though going down for a trade here with Photo. So still, very good trades here. Not in favor of anyone. Also no Spy going down, so wTf have an opening. Trade though for a killer. wTf now also going down with a big engagement here at the reception here. Xenon backstabs Cracklaw. But Xenon though, the very last one here for Comeback with only 12 HP up against Metal Adam and Anko Alley. His position is known. And he lemmings to death. Right when Metal Adam was going to peek him and possibly also kill him anyway. But it's a little sad to miss that post box though. wTf trying to also go here for a push through train station. It is just shot down really hard here by Comeback. Aquila and Photo still the only one surviving. Photo now also the only one here at the main office area. Going down to no one, says at least no one from Comeback died, but pretty certain at least they got some trades. But still, they shot down that push really hard and then just pretty much did a counter push in. And again, wTf not really denying the take here on the parking area. wTf really just staying back, trying to hold down on the spawn again, I suppose. And Comeback just going in from all sides at once, and Metal Adam is now the very last one left here with Show, Spy and Padawan coming in from all sides. Holding down all the angles, he has nowhere to go. And Comeback this time going for a little bit of a different setup here, or strategy, going to go straight through a push here, or rush through the pillars. wTf really not expecting that. Already 2 of them going down. They try to see if they can take control of the other side of the map. But already Comeback trying to see if they can just spread out, figure out exactly where the last one's left. Because they have 5 versus 3, or now only 5 versus 1. Cracklaw though hiding at the bathrooms, getting one of them down. Sitting in the corner, hoping that Ricardinho would just jump by. So he has his crosshair not really on him, and not being ready for him just runningly peek around. So a little bit sad that he couldn't flicker over. And again, Comeback going here for a push onto the tractor. Tractor? That's a van. Oh well, that's a new thing, I suppose. And wTf trying here to see if they can hold down the angle. It is for even trades, almost. It's 2 versus 1. Cracklaw, the very last one left, trying to see if he can push in. Gus go in an engagement up against Padawan and Ricardinho, with both of them from 2 different sides again, going into a crossfire. With your 1 versus 2, he might have wanted to try and be a little bit more sneaky and not just be this very aggressive and brute forcing it. Again, Comeback going here for a wash onto pillars. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. That's right. Comeback going with a rush through pillars. For some reason, I all of a sudden thought the colors were wrong. But no, going in there and then trying to see if they can wrap around. Also having still 1 player at the van, I would call this. And just holding down this very angle and going to try and see if he can push in simultaneously with the others going from behind. And wTf trying to see if they can push through the train station. Also again being shut down. But fairly even trades. It's still a 3 versus 1. And Corelli and Photo, who have done very well earlier, trying to see if they can hold down the angle. Ricardinho though gets him down. It's a trade with Photo getting Ricardinho. But Xenon already tries to hunt him down. And Photo, he has already got a few good connections here onto Photo. Photo does get him down actually, but he has only 3 HP, so he does bleed to death for the 8th round, but only Spy still alive. So yes, certainly it has been an 8-1, but a lot of these rounds, especially here on Turnpike, have been pretty close. So the 8-1 is a very skewed image maybe. Photo also now holding down a little bit of a cheeky angle here. Trying to see if he can fully engage. Xenon though just goes straight in. Metal Adam though there with a simultaneous double kill. Both of the players that dying from comeback just doing a synchronous swimming dance. Okay, that analogy ended up really badly. But nevertheless, comeback though going to try and see if they can do a little bit of a slower push onto the train station. Again, just expecting What the Fast to go for the usual push from the main parking area. But Photo, no, being a little bit of a lurk, going all the way back. His position though is already known and getting a few good hits there onto the groin. He's already all the way down to 10 HP. He is waiting for Show to going in. Gets one connection though with the Desert Eagle, so Cracklaw has a good chance here to at least get one of them down, but we continue though with the SR8. There's still a lot of HP. Certainly can just hold down one angle. Cracklaw trying to go in on Spy, who was the one on 20 HP. Does just go down immediately. The thing is really here maybe that well, he was killed right when he was jumping, right? So he was killed, ouch. That is not something you want to see, but it is an opening nevertheless for What the Fast. Spy going down to the nade of his friend. Now a nade also here by Photo getting Padawan down. Photo though also killing now Xenon and also avoiding the nade by Xenon. And also getting few good hits and here for a good backstab. Just holding down the angle, taking it slow this time. Which was maybe also what would have been better in the other 1 versus 3. You could of course just say you want to throw away that round so that you can still play the time. We still have 12 minutes left. But you might also just want that wasn't, well, it was somewhat of a very difficult push here by What the Fast. I mean, we had that one player in bathrooms being way too effective. We continue just having way too much of an open time. He didn't get the kill, but he still got a lot of damage in here. But still, Cracklaw in the end did get the kill. But really just Cracklaw being very much not having at all his attention. At least even seeming to know that one player, but maybe also just focusing on one player. But also now Comeback trying to see if they can push in on somewhere. What the Fast this time actually have shut it all down. And Spy the very last one here, very much out in the open, kept being just hit from 3 angles at once. Metal Adam just peeks him and gets him down. Cracklaw though already there also for the backstab. So there is the 3rd round. We have only 13 rounds already gone by the 11-minute mark, so What the Fast could begin to get this one going. Comeback though with a push here onto pillars is going to do some really good work, but with a good backstab here by What the Fast, it is all the way down already to a 2 versus 2. And Corrali though, a little bit out in the open, has to be aware that he might be pushed from several angles at once. But we continue the very last one with only 6 HP, going to go up against the killer, peeks him, kills him. 4th round, 2 rounds in a row. I'm not going to jinx it, but this, hopefully not, but this might be a comeback here. I would at least hope for so. Little bit of help on the earlier map, on the result on Orbital, which was not really the best, 23-7 if I remember correctly. But Comeback again with a very good opening, already gauging 3 of the What the Fast players down for only 1 player. So it's a 4 versus 2, and Metal Adam trying to see if he can find some players, but again, Aquila just being all the way out on the other side on the map. Comeback and just go in with a 1 versus 4 and just trade 1 player for that one. Metal Adam taking Xenon down though, and also trying to engage here on Spy. Takes 1, And with that, has gone all the way down to a 1 versus 1 against Padawan, who takes him down though with the Desert Eagle. So again, what the comeback taking a round, and what the Fast have to try and see if they can just get a good few engagements here. But Xenon already with a good nades getting Quacklaw down, but good trades here. Xenon going down, Show going down, Aquila now also just going down. Spy just going to move away before he's going to be killed after peeking again on the window. And so going to try and go in for the medic. We got in very low and us also go down. And now Spy up against 2 players at once. Does kill 1, Metal Adam does the trade. 11 HP though. And no ammo. Does know where he is. But Padawan just circles around. He has the HP. And he has the time certainly too. Does go in for the peek. Does get Metal Adam just in the legs, but that's still enough with only 11 HP for the kill. What the Fast this time going to spawn at the back office. Or cheap. And again, we have one push here by Wicardinho onto the pillars. It is a trade. Actually not, interesting. I thought that nade actually killed him, but Padawan is dead, so almost trades. Wicardinho now also going down, there we go. I was just seeing the future. Aquila also going down, so again, what the Fast trying to hold down here on the train station at Anchor Alley. Trying to hold down the angle through the door and just ignoring the one player on his right. Which was actually visible to him, or he did know that he was there. His teammate just in front of him died to him and he did hear him. So he did know that he was there, but he was just prioritizing the one player through the door instead of trying to flick over and see if you can take that one kill and then flick back again. Come back now, also getting a lot of good kills in here. Quacklaw again, the very last one here. Going to go through the pillars. Going to go in onto the office. Finds one Spy. Actually going down to Xenon though, with Xenon's help. And now also Xenon going down. There's a little bit of mutiny there in the midst of comeback, but still 2 versus 1. Show just wraps around while Wicardinho holds the attention away from Metal Adam. Or Quacklaw, sorry. Xenon again pushing into the middle, gets Quacklaw with that. And Show also holding down the angle. Photo tries to see if he can engage, gets Xenon, tries to follow it up, gets Show too. So it is all the way back. Actually what the Fast now in favor, but that nade does shut him down. But still, that has been an opening for not even trades. And again, it is 2 versus 2. Aquila though going down. City Padawan and Spy simultaneously also taking Metal Adam. Again, what the Fast trying here to actually doing something a little bit different, going to go here for a push for the pillars. They haven't done that much before. Also having still a lurk in the bathrooms, trying to see if they can hold down or get a backstab in on someone trying to take control of the middle. And Corelli trying to see if he can take control of the middle with the SA. Doesn't really go that well, but Metal Adam here with still 71 HP in a 2 versus 1. And he does know there's at least one player coming from the office. And one from the train station. Spy's right beneath him. Does to go for the nade. Shouldn't hit though. Though this second one will. But Metal Adam tries to engage up against Spy. Doesn't really find his crosshair on him. So he doesn't get the kill. So that he can overflick around for the other one on the Jeep. Sadly. Because that was still very much, if he had just had the aim there, he could very much have turned this round around. Spy going to take in very aggressive positions here. Again, as we see just the park area all the way neglected here by what the Fast J. Instead try and opt for a little bit more of a different push all the way through pillars this time too. And Show now also pushing them back again. Photo trying to see if he can take control of the middle from just their own spawn. But is also just shut down. So now it's Cracklaw and Ankoali trying to see if they can hold down on the pillars, but not holding down any angle at all. So Show just peeks them and kills them both. Comeback again, pushing through what is called here Company Park. I would call him maybe Park, Van, I don't know. Company Park, whatever. Nevertheless, still, as we can see, just wTf again, not really contesting that control at all, just giving it to Comeback. And I'm not completely certain if they have any possibility to even follow any push by, or just hold down the further push by Comeback. But Ankoali getting a good kill here in, does though get only a trade here with Padawan killing him. So Cracklaw again on the other side of the map. wTf very much just trying to see if they can surprise their opponent. But Cracklaw being very, very noisy here. Padawan might actually have heard it with his position. Seems like it. Gets a few good connections in here. The SH shot doesn't really hit Cracklaw, gets him down. But Show already from behind. With only 50 HP and with 2 Desert Eagle hits, he might be up against a Cracklaw with around 10 or 20. It gets him down immediately. Flicks over for a nice kill. Very much I'm actually interested to see what wTf right now are doing for a setup. So we have one right now in train station. They have pretty much neglected or just given up on the setup of just trying to go through the train station as is usual. Trying to go through the train station, take control of the park, and then also trying to take control of office from there. But then also, instead they try to see if they can commit only one player to just hold off a counter push. If you can call it that at all, if they are not really countering any push, but nevertheless. You have one to just hold down that angle. And this round is also again starting out, this very round here, is starting out really well here for wTf. Again, going for a push onto the pillars instead. And with 3 players committed to the pillars, 1 only to the office. The one to the office being probably, most likely at least, Photo. And again, wTf going here, just 3 players onto the pillars. Certainly has worked better, but again, as we can see, both Cracklaw just going down to Xenon each and every time. And Comeback just cleaning the one single player here at train station easily. So Padawan now wrapping around, just holding down the angle, does survive that SH shot. Ankoali does get him down though. So it's a 3 versus 2, and wTf trying to see if they can hold down onto the pillars area, but Ankoali just jumping right into death in a crossfire of 3. But I suppose maybe this strategy would also be something that would be much better to use if you are behind, as they certainly are, because these rounds are still faster, though Turnpike also in and of itself, I would suppose, compared to something like Turnpike, would also be one of the faster ones, maybe not like to Hunger, but still. Aquila trying to go up against Show, he shuts him down immediately, so Show's still alive, but Show also the only one still alive. For Comeback here. Does also find Cracklaw. Has gotten now 2 1 versus 1 engagements in his favor, but still. wTf pretty much can just begin to wrap around, but Ankoali just going to go straight in. Somewhat well coordinated with Metal Adam. Still holding Show in his ankle when going through the left on the train station. And gets the kill for a 6th round here for wTf. Xenon though again taking easily the middle here against Cracklaw. And Comeback also still again pushing from the forklift spawn onto the train station with ease, even though that is usually where you start from the other side. And Ankoali though again, their last one, trying to go up with UMP up against Padawan and doesn't get any connections at all. But I suppose, so usually you try and push onto the train station, as we can see. And again, we have a push here through pillars. It is even trades, should not technically you should be able to kill the one player on pillars without losing anyone, because you have 3 versus 1. But nevertheless, it was even trades, so they could follow it up. Show now also going down, still 2 of the wTf players, and we continue with an SR8. Has to find a good angle here if he has to try and find any possibility to take this round still. But so if you get through pillars, so then you can wrap around. That was where I was trying to go. Then you can try and wrap around and try and see if you can take the pushing players to the train station from behind. So you also still have one player holding down the angle on the park. So you can do a little bit of a crossfire with that. And we continue also just going down, not really getting the shots here. So now a 7th round, going to wTf, but this is going to be the very last one yet. wTf with 2 players going to be pushing, it seems. Or 1 player going to go into train station. Is not going to commit further. And Aquila doesn't just try and go out into the park. Metal Adam tries to follow it up a little bit late, but still gets by. We continue the very last one, still up against 2 of the wTf players. And they wrap around from the pillars for the kill for 21-8. wTf getting a lot of good hits here, or kills in, and good rounds. That's what the word was I was looking for. But getting a good few rounds in here in the end, but still not enough, certainly. I'm not completely sure what they could have changed in the lineup. I've pretty much been talking about that all the time now. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Interesting that they tried to commit to the pillars. It certainly worked much better. Though it was also much more just like them trying to just figure out exactly what happens round to round and not have a set plan where they have everything accounted for. So, yeah. But it's still, as you could see, usually as you do, as we saw in the very first few rounds, you have players pushing through the train station, and then usually you see 2 or 3 players trying to counter that push, as we also saw here by comebacks. So very interesting to see, but nevertheless, this is a 2-0 to comeback. Comeback taking the win and getting nice good points here on the group. That would mean that if we just look at the groups and tables here, so let's see if we can do this without having my webcam on. There we go. So if we just, this is 6 points, this should then be, I think it's going to be 3 points in total. So they're almost closing in on retired. They only need a few more points in. Still though, they are not have a high enough of they still are not high enough at all to be able to get into Division 1. If that is their goal, at least. I have no idea. Nevertheless, this is probably been a little bit of a shaky one. This is going to be it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Sleep well.